Well, hello there, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today with us for the Captivate Your Clients show. My name is Marusha Murphy. I am your hostess today, and I am thrilled that you are here. And I have here with me someone that I absolutely admire. Casey Solik and I have been dear friends and colleagues for over 4 years now, just about 4 years or so. And I have just, I just admire her so much because she is a mom just like I am. She has two beautiful little girls and is definitely an entrepreneur and has been doing some phenomenal things in the health and wellness space. And I'm bringing her today because I see her as someone who's just like us. Someone who, Casey, if it's okay if I say this, but like, who doesn't necessarily want to get into the marketing side of things. She just wants to give a good message to the world, right? But in the midst of that, she's doing some amazing things that are really making an impact and really showcase another side of marketing that doesn't feel like marketing, that just feels like serving the world in a greater way. And that is why I wanted her here. She is the founder of SheShinesWellness.com. That's the correct address,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I want you to definitely visit that. I've put the address here below as well. So go and check it out. It's just an awesome community, and I'd really love for you to join me there. I'm actually there. I have my green smoothie every morning, by the way, Casey. So thank you for that.
Good job.
She is a nutrition and health advocate coach for so many to change families, radically through what they're eating and what they're consuming into their bodies. So, Casey, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, Marusha. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure. Love seeing you.
I love seeing you too, girl. So, I wanted us to get started today sharing a little bit of, like, from your voice, why did you start this community, and really from your heart, like what is it, what has it done for you, but also what has it done for the community that you serve?
She Shines was developed because I was an entrepreneur, burning the candle on both ends, like so many of us do. So many of us mompreneurs do. We're squeezing our business into the nooks and crannies of our lives so that we can be home with our kids and trying to grow these meaningful, purposeful businesses. And that's what I was doing. And I was running myself into the ground doing that. And I had lost my shine. I was dull. I was overwhelmed. I was stressed out. I was sick all the time. And what I teach is health for life purpose, because without your health, you cannot fulfill your life purpose with passion and energy. And that's health is the foundation of everything you do, whether it's momming, whether it's in your personal life or in your professional life. If you don't have your health, you can't do those things the way you're supposed to do them. And so I lost my shine and was desperately trying to find it again. And I knew so many women who had lost their shine too, and needed to find it so that they could be a light in this world. And for me, health used to be very boring and clinical, and calorie counting and restriction, and I had no desire to learn anything about it. It was yuck. But due to the personal health issues that I had and needing to reclaim my own health, I became very interested and involved in health. And it no longer was all about calorie counting and restriction and diet and everything, but I started looking at my body as this miracle that God has given each and every one of us as a vehicle to be here on this earth to serve the world. And if we're not fueling that vehicle in the most natural and holistic way we can, then we just can't do what we're here to do. And so She Shines is the place for women to come so they can reclaim their health and rock their radiance, as I always say. And yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, and one of the things that's been really, really amazing, I'm part of that community, so for my audience, just to give you guys a heads up, I'm part of that community. And you actually have been the reason that my health has changed, my husband's health has changed, my daughter's health has changed. This pregnancy that I have, at right now I think I'm at 34 weeks at the time of this recording, has been a pretty amazing pregnancy. I mean, it's been so easy. It's been, I'm still up and running. I'm still doing yoga 3 times a week, because my health has been completely completely changed by you, by what you've shared with me and what you've taught me. And so I just wanted to share that, like, you're now speaking all over the country, and you're doing some amazing things to really impact more people.
Yeah. Sharing my love of green smoothies and taking my Vitamix and really teaching people that it's all about adding in.
Yeah.
It's not about what you can't have, but it's about adding in the good stuff. So what can you add into your daily nutrition to make you healthier and happier today? And it's about progress and not perfection.
I love it.
Yeah, and so it's real world health and wellness for real world women who can improve their own health, but then also, as you have done, take it back to their families and empower their families with holistic health and wellness.
That's awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Now, the reason I also want to share, I'm glad that we had talked about this right at the beginning, is I want to kind of like, let's kind of peel back the curtain here for a second, as I like to do. And for the audience, do you see that sometimes when you're selling a product and you're trying to market a product that you're not passionate about, that you're not like fully engaged in, that you don't have conviction about, it's a lot harder to find that marketing angle, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think that Casey has done so well is focus first, like within, and looked within herself and said, what is it about my story, about who I am, and the pain that I've had in my own life? And that has really empowered so many thousands of women at this point, and families, to change for the better. I think that is that's remarkable. So I just that's like a little side lesson there, but I think it's something that's so powerful that we forget as business owners and entrepreneurs.
Exactly. And I am so glad you mentioned that too, Marusha, because I think when you're really passionate about something, it's no longer selling and marketing. It's really serving and sharing what you're passionate about with people who need it. And so it really takes the ickiness out of selling, out of marketing, because you're no longer really doing that. You're just serving and you're sharing your passion with people, and they want what you have.
Yeah. I think that's just beautiful. And actually, the thing that I wanted us to really like focus on during our interview today, our time today together, was one of the things that I saw when you got clear and tapped into who you are and how you wanted to grow She Shines in a bigger way. And you did this thing this summer. And actually, that's actually what, I'm always thinking from like a, marketing and perspective. That's just the way I'm kind of wired, right? But you didn't do it from that place, right? We recognize that. But one of the things that I saw you do, I thought was just fascinating, and I wanted to share it with everybody. You did something that ended up in the end, unintentionally, as in our conversation beforehand, you mentioned you weren't intending to build your list necessarily. Like the goal wasn't, let's build our list, right?
Right.
But you did.
Yeah.
A lot.
Right.
And it was through this challenge idea. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that means? Like, what is this challenge? I guess, what did you do, and then what is the concept of the challenge?
Okay. Well, for me, as I was, and I know as a lot of people are, as I mentioned earlier, they're frustrated and annoyed with health and wellness. And it's like this, it's, for one thing, it's a big mountain that you think you can never climb over, and, why even bother? Why even try? I can't do that. I've tried it before and I failed, and this expert is telling me to do this, and that expert is telling me to do that, and then I should buy that product, and, it's all so confusing. And so it just was dropped into my spirit to do a 10-day eat clean challenge. And 10 days was very specific because it's not too long. People feel like they can do anything for 10 days. And it's not too short. So they're not feeling like you barely get started and then you don't see any results whatsoever. 10 days is a good amount of time where people get over the hard part of eating clean, which is typically the first few days, and then really get into the groove and find the energy and start feeling the glow. And by the end of the 10 days, they've accomplished some health goals just in 10 days. And they're amazed at what they've accomplished. Most people they lose weight, they gain energy, they're happier, they've lost brain fog, they can think clearer. Right. And so they really see these results in 10 days. And my intention is for them to see those results for those 10 days and then keep going with it. This is kind of the jump off point. And they see that it's not too hard and then it's not crazy. During our 10-day challenges, we don't do anything crazy. We're not doing any kind of fasting. You don't have to buy any pills, or you don't have to buy any shakes. It's none of that. It's just eating what God has put on this earth for us to enjoy in its whole natural form. So lots of fruits, veggies, whole grains, nuts, seeds, water. We really focus on drinking the water. And green smoothies. So we have a green smoothie a day, pretty much every day of our 10-day challenge. And if you're thinking you don't like green smoothies, that's because you haven't tried one yet. You really
one that can really just support you in an amazing way. It's just awesome. Yeah. We have them every day now. Mm-hmm.
And you don't taste the greens. Anybody who's new to it, it just tastes like a fruit smoothie. It's really delicious, but you're getting lots of raw, leafy, fresh, living greens into your system every day, and all the fiber and everything that goes with that, and all the antioxidants, vitamins, minerals. It's such a great way to jumpstart your day. And so this 10-day challenge was just dropped into my spirit to do this, to really start showing people that it is possible to shift the way they think about health. I make it fun. I make it simple. I don't like to be in the kitchen. I don't like to cook. If anything is hard for me, I'm not going to do it. Or if anything doesn't taste good, I'm not going to do it. So you know that the green smoothie does taste good, and that this Eat Clean challenge is really very simple, because I speak and work mainly with moms, and we're busy and we're going, and we need things that are real world, as I always call it. And so this challenge was dropped into my spirit just to do. And so I put it out there. I thought I would have about 10 people that would come and jump in and do this challenge with me. What I wanted them to see was who I was. I wanted them to know how I conduct business. I wanted them to really get a feel for my passion, and I wanted that to spill over into them, so that they would kind of find a spark, feel a spark, and be ignited into health.
Right. And so that's actually what we call brand recognition. So you as a business,
right,
really trying to, your main goal was, I want people to get to know who I am, my brand, my personal brand. Okay.
Exactly, and how I work, and how I interact with people, and how I relate to people. And I wanted them to know me, and I wanted them to know She Shines. So yes, brand recognition, very good. Glad you said that. I wouldn't have said that myself. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, I'm just a mom with a message. So that's what it was. I put it out there, and I thought 10 people is what I was expecting, but people jumped on. I've just advertised it on Facebook, and said, if you'd like to do a 10-day challenge, come in and do it with me. It was free, and I had people saying, yes, I'd like to do it. And then I had some people saying, can I share this with my community? And I was like, sure, go right ahead. And before I knew it, 10 people turned into 297 people-ish. For that first 10-day Eat Clean challenge, and it exploded within just a couple of days. I was overwhelmed with all the people jumping in that really wanted to do this, and so that's how it started, and that's why I did it, and it turned out to be just a phenomenal, fun, full of energy kind of time for me and for everyone else too.
Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing that. I think 297 people for like those gurus out there that are saying, oh, that's, what a small number. Hello, for most of us who are really wanting to get this message out in the world, having 297 people sign up for a program and actually follow through is just pretty darn remarkable. That's pretty awesome. So kudos to you for that. I do want to note a couple things that I saw you do from my lens of the coin. Because
you participated in the first one.
I did. Thank you. Yeah, I participated in the first one. I was so intrigued. We were having our own health issues at the time too. My husband just joined me in the company. Dennis just joined me in the company full time, and we were just kind of stressed out and trying to figure it all out, right? So it was perfect timing for us. But one of the things that I noticed is that you allowed us to be part of another community. So not only did you allow us to sign up to get the Clean Eating Challenge, and I want to ask about the details as to how that kind of worked, but you also put us into a Facebook group, like a private group, right?
Exactly.
So now we're building community connection amongst each other, sharing resources with you, asking questions. There was this camaraderie that we found in the midst of being strangers just a few moments before.
Right. Exactly. And that was a huge part of the challenge. And one of the biggest things that people loved about the challenge was knowing that there were other people going through it with them, and knowing there was a place to come where they could share their obstacles, share their challenges, share their victories with other people who were in the same boat.
Yeah.
And when you're starting a new thing, when you're trying to develop new habits, surrounding yourself with people who are doing the same thing you are is hugely important and very, very helpful. And so that's why I wanted to do the private Facebook group, was specifically for that, to really provide people with the support they need to make it through the 10 days successfully. And that's also where I was too, offering advice and encouragement and sharing articles and posting pictures and doing whatever I could to encourage the group. Because this is where they were interacting with me on a daily basis and really getting to know me as a person, but then also, as you said, brand recognition and getting to know my brand.
Absolutely. Now let's take it one step before that. Before you got everyone in the group, one of the things that you did, and if you don't mind me sharing, I mean, again, you're a mom entrepreneur, like marketing was not your favorite thing.
No.
There were some things that you did that you were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did this. Remember? Like forgetting to add an opt-in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was a mess. It was a total mess.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because in the end, what happened was, there was some really powerful things that happened for you, because you ended up doing this challenge a few more times, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So the first one was a mess in the beginning. A few days into it, I got things straightened out and had everything, the way it needed to be. But it was a learning experience for me. I didn't know it was going to blow up the way it did. I thought I'd have 10 people that were emailing me saying I won in the challenge. But before I knew it, I had, 30, 40, 50, 60 people that were all emailing me. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to get a system in place to handle this. And so it was a learning experience for me. So the next few challenges I did over the summer, I had everything in place to catch everything, so nothing fell through the cracks.
Yeah.
But yeah, having the opt-in, and then when people registered, they got a shopping guide and overview, an Eat Clean Challenge shopping guide and overview. Hi, Maya.
She's wanting to say hi today. She loves Miss Casey.
Hey, pretty girl. A shopping guide and overview, so that they would know exactly where we were going with the 10-day challenge. So there wouldn't be any surprises or anything like that. And again, this showed them who I was, and again, how I do things. And so as soon as they registered, they would get that. And then I opened up the Facebook group about 3 days before the challenge started, so people could because they were shopping, and then they would have questions about what they needed to buy. And then I'd love for them to post their pictures of their shopping trips, because it was inspiring, for other people to see that these other people are doing the same thing. And so I opened the Facebook group 3 days before, and then, we just kind of dove into the challenge. And then each day of the 10-day challenge, everyone would receive a PDF from me in their inbox in the morning, which was, I did a teaching, I shared a challenge, a challenge for the day, a smoothie recipe for the day, a scripture verse for the day, and it was just an inspirational piece to start their days throughout the 10-day challenge.
That's amazing. That's wonderful. Now, again, I'm going to peel back the curtain for our audience here, and I want them, and we don't have time to go into every details of what you just talked about, because I think you put a lot of thought and energy into who your community was, what your community really needed, so that you could serve them in the better way. One second, I'm going to pause right there, because Maya. Okay. So one of the things I really want to invite you to think about is, how do you serve your audience in the best possible way? Think about that. And when you're if you want to put on a challenge like this, open the door so people can recognize you, understand how you do what you do. You want to think about things like, what are their pain points? Like Casey just thought about, right? So Casey, you really spent time thinking through how people were, where people were at that would keep them stuck from eating healthy. So in our viewers and listeners right now, as they're viewing and listening, thinking about what their audience wants. What is it that's keeping them stuck from really pushing into success where they're at? So allowing yourself to do that and creating a challenge that doesn't feel too long or too short, but gives them a taste of who you are, and then adding those components to it to make it one that will allow them to buy other products and other services from you in the future.
knocks their socks off, where they're thinking, wow, I can't believe I'm getting all this for free,
Yeah.
kind of. And I did it for free very specifically because I wanted people to come in and get to know me. And so I would say, you don't always want to do things for free, but if you're trying to build a community and trying to get brand recognition out there, doing something where they really get to know who you are as a person and as a business and get to know your philosophy, it worked for me, and I didn't realize that it would. I get, like you said in the beginning, it was not my intention. It just kind of happened. I went from about 50 people on my list to almost 1,000 in 3 months from these challenges.
Amazing.
And so don't be afraid to offer something, especially if you're just getting started in business, where you're trying to get your message out and get people to know who you are, something like that for free. Because and especially for me, it was hard the first time because I was creating the program as it was happening.
Yeah.
The next 2 challenges that happened, I had all the materials and everything. They were already there. They were already ready. So it wasn't quite as hectic for the next 2 challenges. And so it was kind of already done. So
yeah, the work is always up front, and then after that it kind of simplifies itself, and
right.
you tweak for the lessons that you learned, as you mentioned earlier, but it really works for you.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Casey, we're out of time. I can't believe how fast 20 minutes just flew by.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
But I really do want to ask you, is there just one thing that you want to help us remember about, growing our list, growing our brand recognition through a challenge idea before we close today?
I say it's just remember that it's just about serving. It's not about marketing and selling. It's just about serving and letting people know who you are and the way you conduct business. Really get to develop a relationship with those people and let them see you as the kind of the go-to person, the expert in this area. And they see you that way because of who you are and the relationships you're building. So it's not marketing, it's not selling. It's just a very genuine sharing of your message and serving your community.
Awesome. And again, can you give us the address, the URL as to where they can find you again?
Yes, it's sheshineswellness.com. It's undergoing a makeover right now. I don't know if this airs, if it'll still be undergoing the makeover, but if you get there and it looks a little scarce, just come back in another couple days. But also, if you want to email me, you can at kcesolic@gmail.com. And the membership to She Shines is free, so you can email me and we'll get you into the Facebook group.
Awesome. And if they were interested in a Eat Clean challenge, how could they do that? On your website?
Yeah, well, yes, but not yet because it's not. We're still
makeovering.
So if you're interested in it, just email me and say you want to be in the next challenge, because I will have another challenge coming up, probably the beginning of March-ish.
Great.
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Casey, thank you for your time today. And
Thanks,
for all of those who are watching and listening to the Captivate Your Clients show, thank you so much for being here with us. It was really a pleasure to share Casey with you. She is someone I just absolutely adore. And, we'll have more coming up for you next week, so I can't wait to see you again. Have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone. Bye for now. Bye, Casey.
Bye. Thank you.